A couple years ago, a close friend, Ashley, started a long-distance relationship with a guy, Chris. He has been really good to her, and after meeting in person a few times, they decided to move in together. I was super happy for her as she had a few bad relationships over the years, and it was nice to see her in a healthy one. That joy faded the last couple of months before she moved a few states over to be with him. The issue isn't her moving, but that she repeatedly joked about having a baby from Chris. At first, I accepted it as a joke, but over time I realized Ashley was serious. For context, Ashley has 2 children from a previous relationship, ages 10 and 12. Chris absolutely doesn't want kids. He told her this at the start, and anytime she hinted possibly wanting more, he shot it down, saying it was a deal breaker. Now, Chris is more than willing to accept her children as her own because he loves her, and after meeting her kids, them as well. He's accepted that they are a package deal with her, and since they are at an age where they are semi-independent, it's not an issue for him. To me, Chris is a real bro for taking on her kids without issue. Hearing Ashley says she wants a baby out of him, one way or another, bothered me to no end. It's hard enough to find a partner that treats you well and accepts children that aren't their own. To find one that does and then talk about plotting to force a baby seems gross and manipulative. Before her move, I had sat down with Ashley, trying to talk sense into her. At first, she resisted, but finally, it seemed she understood how crappy it would be. After I felt like she had understood, I put the issue behind me and helped support her through the hassle of moving. A few days after she left, I got a call from a mutual friend who delves into the Wiccan, metaphysical, realm. She was distraught and confessed to me that shortly before Ashley's move, Ashley had come to her asking for a fertility spell. This friend didn't feel comfortable about it and refused. When pushed, she said she cast a spell for a healthy and honest relationship, but told Ashley it was for fertility. As you can imagine, I was livid. I messaged Ashley, confronting her about what I learned, and she laughed it off as she was desperate, but magic is fake anyway, so what's the harm? She then let it slip that since Chris was planning on getting a vasectomy in a few months, she had poked holes in their rubbers as a last-ditch effort. At that point, I couldn't stay silent. I gathered up screenshots of all the conversations over the last few months and sent them to Chris. He understandably freaked out and kicked her out. Now, Ashley hates me because she was kicked out after a huge move and didn't have a job or money to make it back. She said I'm a terrible person for putting her and her kids out on the street. Am I an idiot here? Should I have kept quiet? Not the idiot. You didn't get her kicked out, she did with her deceitful and potentially very harmful behavior. This is worse than cheating on someone in my opinion. Can you imagine if it were the other way around and he was the one poking holes in rubbers? People would drag him through the mud, and pretty sure it's illegal to do in many places. Choosing to be a parent or not is incredibly personal and should never, ever be a coerced decision. Considering how awful and disrespectful she is to someone she was supposed to be in love with, I don't think you're losing out on much of a friend here. You're a hero in my eyes. Not the idiot. There's no way you can be an idiot. Your friend literally is trying to force a baby out of Chris. That is just disgusting and unfair to him. I'm sorry your friend is suffering right now, but she did it to herself. You already tried talking to her numerous times. Still, those delusions remain unchanged. She should have been honest 100% instead of trying to deceive him. Reading this just makes me wonder how her other kids got here. Sorry if telling him potentially mess up a good friendship, but you did right thing. Not the idiot. I know you feel like an idiot for going behind your friend's back, but morally you did the right thing, no doubt. That poor dude was about to be trapped with a lying, manipulative woman and you saved him. He should be thanking you till the cows come home, literally. Thanks so much for doing this. As a man, I am so grateful to hear that there are women out there who will watch a good bro's back and won't let him get tricked into having a kid when he doesn't want one. I'm a business owner. My sister-in-law, my brother's wife, has always been interested in working for my company, but I never considered her. First, she doesn't need a job and is the type of person that would not take her work seriously. Secondly, she just doesn't have the right skills needed for my business and I don't see myself going out of the way to hire her. Also, I don't like her that much for reasons I will not go into. I was talking to this sister-in-law a few weeks ago on the phone, and she again asked me how my business is doing. She always asks, as if my business is just a fun hobby. I just told her that we're looking to change a few things on our website. Then she says her 19-year-old daughter can help with it, she's learning this stuff in college right now. I politely declined, because we are capable of hiring a professional to do it, but my sister-in-law kept insisting, because she wanted this to be on her daughter's portfolio and resume. She also insisted that, if I could provide a little stipend for her daughter's work, it would be an exciting project for her. At this point, I'm rolling my eyes, but I decided to give my niece a chance, because she's a good kid, and I don't mind providing her with the opportunity and a little allowance. Instead of letting her change the website for good, I told her to come with a draft or prototype of what she thinks would look good. I gave her my criteria and things I need to change. I paid her $500 out of pocket as a friendly aunt to niece allowance for this project that is not supposed to take more than 2 days to do. So after about a week, my niece sends me her work, which is just sloppy and devastating. Misspellings and typos everywhere, colors don't look good, misplaced images, etc. I'm not a design major, but the work was done in a way where anyone on the face of this earth would know that this is sloppy. You can tell she didn't take this seriously. So my niece and I jump on a call, and I calmly walk her through her work. I did tell her what she did a good job on, which is basically just good job putting this together, but I made sure to focus on giving her constructive feedback. I told her usually before you send your work to clients, you should proofread your work and make sure it represents your best work, meaning no spelling errors, misplaced images, etc. In the future, you might want to give this a little more attention. My niece took it well. And then after a few days, I got a call from my sister-in-law, basically accusing me of crushing her daughter's dreams for the little pay I gave her. Apparently, my niece was crying. I do feel bad about that, but am I really an idiot if my sister-in-law was the one that insisted for her daughter and I decided to give her an opportunity with pay? I don't think I said anything bad beyond giving her feedback that should serve her well in the future. Not the idiot. With the kind of work she gave you and the fact that she's 19 with only a high school degree, of course, you didn't pay her much. It doesn't sound like your sister-in-law has ever had a job. If she did have a job before, she would know that you did nothing wrong. You gave your sister-in-law's daughter constructive criticism. You weren't rude to her. Your sister-in-law's daughter needs a huge wake-up call. She needs to realize that she's going to face constructive criticism in the workplace, and there's nothing wrong with it. Not the idiot. From your title, I thought you had ripped her to shreds. You were polite and honest, but this proves why family and business are better as separate entities. Your initial instinct was right. At 19, getting paid that much to draft a website with no experience whatsoever and clearly nothing good to provide is not bad. I'd swallow my pride and feel happy I made money doing not a lot. Not the idiot. Usually, I'd say don't mix work with family, but you were sticking to that and were essentially pressured into it. If that's the stuff she's working on in college, she should have at the very least proofread it. Also, the $500 seems like a very generous offer for her time and effort. I think you acted pretty well given the situation. You allowed your niece to change the website and gave constructive criticism rather than just point out the errors. Sounds to me like your sister-in-law is just awful. I run a subscription-based service and have a few artists. I've worked with one of them for about 3 years now, and though we had our rough patches, things were always good. I've always paid her on time, the amount she asks for, and immediately she can even vouch for that. Besides that, I do nothing but praise her work and her skills. I have a large fan base, so I quite literally helped her grow. Now due to the virus, I wanted to limit the amount of work done this month so that I could have enough money in the next few months to successfully handle any issue that should arise. My artist's rates are $50 per image. I wrote out a monthly plan and decided to order only 2 images so that I'd pay $100 for this month, then continue the next few months. I told her this and she was fine with it. Now usually she takes her time to do the work. I know art takes a long, but she said herself that she likes to take extra time to draw. I'm talking 1 week sprite character. She has said that she spends most time not drawing and draws when she wants, which is fine. However, payment day is today and she sends me the usual receipts only this time instead of $100. It's $400. Now I'm willing to go ahead and pay that, but I was confused, so I asked her the amount was that high. She told me that, because she drew it faster than usual, that was the price. Now I'm simply confused. I confront her about it, and she combats with a statement of, if you can't afford me, don't hire me. We have been working together for 3 years. I paid her high amounts and boosted her recognition. It feels like a slap in the face to say that to someone who has been a good person to you. Now again, she could have told me. If she would have told me that she was going to charge for a faster price, I'd have had no issues. But to spring things randomly on me I believe is unfair. It's like ordering a pizza delivery for $20, then when the pizza guy comes to your door, he tells you that the price is $150 because he got there faster. Not the idiot, a rush fee is only charged when the client specifically requests the work to be rushed and both the artist and the client agree on fair compensation. The artist doesn't get to unilaterally do anything like this. Ever. Also, sounds like a load of BS on her part. Maybe she's just low on work and had extra time to finish it faster, maybe she's always taken little time and decided to give herself wiggle room before, I don't know, not your problem. Not the idiot. If you'd specifically asked her to get it done quickly and agreed to a higher price because of that, then that'd be different, but she cannot decide after the fact that because she worked faster than normal she can charge more for it. She was under no obligation or expectation to work faster, and if she draws when she feels like it and felt like it is a lot more than normal here, that's her job. You hired her because you could afford her at the rates you'd both agreed upon, she can't go back on that without a reasonable justification which she does not have. Not the idiot. Very unprofessional of her to do this too. It's fine to charge more for rush jobs, but that needs to be communicated upfront, not something she just gets to apply after she's completed the art. Pay her the agreed upon price and then honestly, sever your working relationship with her. Don't pay her for a rush job you didn't agree to, and especially not when she follows through with, if you can't afford me, don't hire me. Sounds like she's agreed, you shouldn't hire her for future projects. I'm in a long-term relationship and it has gradually shifted towards me paying for all of the bills of the household for both of us. I keep pushing for my partner to contribute to bills, even though I make significantly more than she does. She has pushed back due to the difference in our incomes. Before any gold digger comments pop up, this is an income I started making after we had dated for some time. She is not that type of person. In terms of income, I make about $7,500 per month after taxes, and she makes about $1,500 per month. Our bills together come out to about $2,500 $3,000 per month, we live near a high-cost major city. In recent months I've been pushing for her to contribute $300 per month of her income towards our household expenses. She takes jobs that offer about 20 or 30 hours a week and works for a few months, gets bored, then hops to another job. I want her to be happy, and I know she is exploring things she may want to get further into, so I don't make too much fuss about it. She is also trying to save for a real estate training program she wants to do, but has done several other programs for different careers and dropped out. In terms of housework, we split everything equally. We take turns with dishes, laundry, etc. I'm not sure if I'm an idiot for pushing for her to pay $300 per month when I make so much more than she does. After paying the bills, I still have $5,000 per month left over, mostly saved towards a house down payment, which is still triple her total income. For me, it's not so much about the money, but more so feeling like she is also helping to contribute in some way. At the same time, I feel like an idiot when there is such a huge gap in our income. Not the idiot. My boyfriend owns the house that we live in and pays 100% of the bills. But I buy all of the groceries and do 95% of the cooking or cleaning or laundry. I also coordinate and pay for most of our travel. It's probably not 50-50, maybe 35-65, but it's a system that works well for us at the moment while I build my career. I routinely check in with him to make sure that he's still happy with our arrangement. Your girlfriend is being a freeloading slacker. You need to put your foot down or else this will continue forever. Not the idiot. This is a problem. But has done several other programs for different careers and dropped out. This is a problem. She takes jobs that offer about 20 or 30 hours a week and works for a few months, gets bored, then hops to another job. This is a problem. In terms of housework, we split everything equally. Why? She doesn't work equally. I am not talking money, I am talking hours away from home. She is non-committal except to your sugar daddiness. She is irresponsible unless she is 18, then sure, cut her some slack. Not the idiot. Regardless of income, you should both contribute something. She really needs to be contributing and involved in the financial side of your relationship. What would happen to her if she suddenly found herself alone? Has she ever stood on her own feet? I'm probably not the right person to answer, having always supported myself. This situation horrifies me in the sense that I would really struggle to live off my partner. I certainly hope she appreciates you and how you support her. I'm 30 and I've been married to my husband, 42, for a year. We've been together 3 years total. He has a daughter that just turned 16 and a son that's 14. His son has special needs and requires full-time care. The kids live with their mother most of the time. My dad died when I was in high school. He'd been sick a long time and he planned for the end well in advance. My sister and I had a trust set up for our inheritance. Once we were 18 we received $2,500 a year. The rest was off limits until we turned 30. Dad wanted us to be responsible before we got the majority of the money so we wouldn't just waste it in our early 20s. The inheritance is, well, substantial. Dad was an entrepreneur with a lot of successful businesses. Not enough to live off of forever, but it's a good safety net and an investment for the future. I've had plans for the money for a while. I want to pursue a PhD, which has been a long-term goal, and use the money to upgrade our home and, my biggest goal of all, adopt a child. The rest will be split into my retirement and savings. While we usually have shared finances, the inheritance is 100% mine and is in its own bank account. My husband has no legal right to it. That being said, most of my plans for the money involve him as well, obviously. I've been upfront about the money since we met, as well as how I intend to spend it. My husband asked if he'd be willing to start contributing to my stepdaughter's college fund, which he and his wife have been putting money into since she was little. Her school of choice is out of state, which makes costs astronomically higher. I'm fine with helping her some, for basics like food or gas or utilities, but tuition and fees and room and board are expensive, and I don't want to put thousands of dollars toward it. He said they haven't been able to invest as much as they wanted toward her fund since their son has unexpected medical expenses a few years ago and they needed more money for his doctor or hospital or care. She really wants to go to this school, which I understand, but we live less than 40 minutes from a university. She's been studying hard and is a good student, so I think she'll get in if she applies. I told my husband she needs to stay in state and I won't be using a big chunk of money that I plan to invest in our future on expenses for an out-of-state school. He's a bit irate and says I have a responsibility to her and we're a family. I don't think I'm being selfish and I hate to see her disappointed, but he's known since the beginning that I already have plans for the money. Am I being crappy here? Not the idiot. You have been very responsible with the inheritance your father left you. You have had a plan and are sticking to it. Your husband is acting entitled to your money now that you are married. Yes, she is your stepdaughter. You are not responsible to pay for her college. It is the fault of her parents for not saving enough. It sounds like the sister is playing second fiddle to her brother. But your husband is trying to use your inheritance for her college as a way to get her one thing she really wants. Do not let this man manipulate you. Follow your plan, OP. I'm going to go with no idiots here. This is a tough call. I understand his side of wanting to allow his children the opportunity to study at the school of their choice. And I'm not sure if there's something specific she wants to study, but if there is a university close to you, you may not have as good a program as the out-of-state one. On the other hand, it is your money and investing in the future is a good way to use that money and it doesn't sound like it's for anything selfish.